Hello and welcome to another episode, and welcome to the MG ZS EV. Now, a lot of people have been screaming out for a full range test. They want to know how far it goes, as most people do with new EVs. My plan is I'm going to get onto the motorway. I'm going to drive south at 70 miles an hour for as long as I can until the car tells me I need to stop. There is roadworks that way, and there is also roadworks that way. In fact, there's roadworks in every direction, so I can't avoid them, unfortunately, but we have got plenty of areas to drive. So, fingers crossed, it's going to do the 163 miles that it says it's going to do. I'm sceptical. I think it's going to be closer to 140, but that is still easily enough for what we need. So, I will see you wherever I get to. So, see you there. I had a few minutes to appreciate the new MG pulsing badge. Absolutely loving this. And then I unplugged and left Leicester Forestry services. I was soon on the motorway and up to 70 miles an hour and enjoying the MG Pilot, which seemed to be handling the motorway really well. However, that was soon brought back down to 50 as I hit the roadworks coming past Milton Keynes, which seemed to go on for about 15 miles. Good for range, bad for average speed. Okay, just to give you a quick update, I'm really sorry about the lighting, it's a little bit dim in here. I'm just about to get to 75 miles and I'm under 50%. I don't know where, because it goes down in graticals to 12.5%, but somewhere there. And then we've got to remember that we've actually got another 10% stashed away that we're not meant to know about. The MG Pilot is brilliant. It just for doing this sort of journey, the adaptive cruise in the MG Pilot just makes it really easy, really smooth, and just lets you relax that little bit more. So I think without this, because I'm quite tired, I think without this journey would be particularly bad. But as it stands, it's going really well. As I was heading down the M1 towards the M25 interchange, I was feeling quite pleased with the performance. The MG is one of the only EVs, aside from a Tesla, Kona and e-Niro, that I've been able to drive at 70 miles an hour and seem to be achieving a range near to the manufacturer's recommendations. So far, all going rather well. Okay, small update for you. The M25 is closed between junction 29 and 30. I didn't anticipate that, but I'm hoping that Google Maps has. But I've got the low battery warning. It's just come on, and I think I've got about 22.5% left. So fingers crossed, that should be enough. The Garmin's telling me that I've got 38 miles, and I've done 110. So that's basically going to give me 148 miles, 150 miles. I am now actually doing 34 miles an hour because of the diversion. But it's been 70 pretty much all the way, apart from the 50 limit down towards Milton Keynes. The difference between what's on here of 38 miles and I've got 34 to go, that's just a little bit close to the bone. And things were taking a slight turn for the worst. I've now got no bars left at the bottom, and the battery warning light's flashing at me. I've done, 134.5 miles, and as much as I'd love to crack on to where I was going, the Garmin's saying I've got 18 miles left. So I've just had a quick look on the Polar Charge map, and thankfully, let's turn that on as well. Thankfully, there is a rapid saying come off in 3.6 miles. So I think as it stands, we should be good to go. But when I start getting red warning lights coming on and all that business, I do start flapping, and I'm flapping now, I've got to say. I reckon I'm going to get there it's telling me it's 5 miles to the destination, so it's going to be about 140 miles. That would be, sorry, bear with me a sec, let's get rid of that. That would be, I'm going to say about 85%. 70 miles an hour. We had a lot of 50 miles an hour on the M1, and then of course we've got me dawdling along now because I'm flapping. So anyway, I'll see you there. Okay, entertainment as per normal. This is going to get very interesting. I've just got to where the charger is, the one that I flapped and went to, and it's got a gate across it. So I had a quick look. There's nothing on there that says it's going to be locked, but anyway, to cut a long story short, it's locked. So I've just looked for a Genie point, which is just up the road. It's actually 4.8 miles, and well, everything's flashing at me. I don't know if I'm going to get there, so there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to crack on. So very gingerly, and fortunately for me, mostly downhill, I headed towards Morrisons in Chatham, where I was hoping to find the 50 kilowatt rapid charger. I have never been so pleased to see a rapid charger in my life, I can tell you. Okay, it was going so well, but I've done 145.6 miles, 3.7 miles per kilowatt hour. I think realistically, if you went for about 130 miles at 70 miles an hour, 135, that would be safe. This isn't safe. This is me flapping and not being comfortable at all. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to charge it, and then I'm going to drive home at 60 and see what sort of difference we get. So let's get it plugged in. What actually happened, after realising I still had 4% in the battery and not wanting to pay the extortionate Genie point prices, I put 10 kilowatt hours in and headed 12 miles back in the direction I travelled to a polar charge point I'd previously used before, knowing I could get a full charge for what I'd already paid at the Genie point. So what's interesting is, if I can just show you that is what it's showing me of the state of charge at the moment. And if I just go up there, see if I can focus on that. That is saying 25%. So, folks, what should normally be 25% is that second graticule. It's actually that first one. So that will tell you that you have plenty in reserve. I'll just see if I can work out what rate we're charging at. Let's have a look. So just in there, if I can zoom in, we're 401.9. That's about 37 I think, 37 kilowatts, so that'll do. It is 4:30 in the morning. I have charged to 100% on the polar charger. I actually fell asleep and I got woken up as it stopped charging. I set it to 60 miles an hour. I've turned the heater off, so I'm going to go for an eco drive now and just see what difference we get over almost the same distance. So it's a little bit shorter because I come back a little bit this way to get onto that polar rapid. So we shall see. The good thing is I've got the heated seat on, so I'm nice and toasty. I've got a nice big jumper on as well. So it's telling me 121 miles, 2 hours and 6 minutes. So that's going to get me there at 6:30 in the morning. Wow. So excellent. I will see you there. My drive back was relatively uneventful and particularly easy. I went under the Dartford crossing, onto the M25, up the M40, A5, and then I was back in Hinckley in no time. Quite a nice easy drive, and here is what I managed for range and efficiency. I'd managed 122 miles with 27 remaining. That's a range of almost 150 miles comfortably. However, the big point here to note is the heater. I was driving with the heater off and the heater on the way down, and the range difference was negligible. So for me, overall, I'm happy.